All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Can't wait to see what they show off in this VHS one. Emergency room. What? Working on Braun?
Test subject is 59-year-old Thomas Clark, a full-time employee at Playtime Co. since 1955.
Oh.
6 months ago, he was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. Now, Mr. Clark, of sound mind, has volunteered for this experiment.
What? He volunteered? Oh?
Can you hear us, Thomas?
1199
like
displayed much more disorientation than we expected. Subsequent mental testing metrics were also cut practically in half. It's just conjecture on my part, but I don't believe he knows where he is or what's happened to him. To make matters worse, the other experiments could tell 1199 was different.
That is horrifying. To see him alive and moving, and knowing that he used to be a human? What the? Oh, you can see Huggy Wuggy and what? The whole crew. Oh. What's going on over at Playtime Co., huh? Like, Mobgames, what are you guys doing over there, huh? This is getting creepy. Oh.
They would have killed him had the research team not intervened, and even then there was still significant damage to the internal structures with some of the anatomy, namely the larynx and the thyroid, having been completely devoured. It took 12 hours in surgery to stabilize 1199. We keep him separated from the others now.
Okay, that's kind of funny to see him in like one of those rooms. He's just like a little dinosaur on the ground. Oh, that's still creepy though. Okay, so that was definitely pretty unsettling. Let's go ahead and break this trailer down and see what secrets it has in store for us. So it's titled Restricted Restoration.mp4. Now, obviously, I want to say the guy's name that they, took that had lung cancer and they put into Braun. I think his name was Thomas. So they're restoring him, and it's obviously restricted. We're not supposed to be seeing this. And let's go ahead and break this thing down. Okay, so starts with, a little bit of static. It's a VHS tape. Now, we get a first shot of an operating room right here. So this is how they're somehow taking this guy that, was an employee at Playtime Co. Factory, and they're taking his soul or whatever, like his brain, I don't know, and they're putting it inside of Braun. So they're working on him underneath the operating room light, and she is the one that's doing it. She seems to be like the main doctor. It is kind of funny though to see a little Braun action figure just on an operating room table. I mean, that's a little funny, okay? It gets a lot creepier, but it's a little funny until things get scary. So there he is. Now, of course,
The subject is
this seems to be like the main doctor or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know, or her. I don't. That's it. Like she's an experiment. You know what I mean? Her though, but I don't know. I guess she's like a nurse, doctor, something like that. I would assume like the main doctor though. So she goes on to say who this is and that they are, an employee at the factory. They had terminal lung cancer, so they were, I'm assuming, going to die. So they decided, hey, they said willingly, which I don't know who would willingly decide, hey, I want to be stuffed inside of a toy here, especially Braun of all the toys, like a tiny little Braun. I feel like that's not true. Like they might have lied about that. Now you can also see Bunzo Bunny on the left right there that they're working on, which we saw. They have a comic book of that over on Twitter, which I haven't read yet. I only saw like the final image and it looked really creepy, so we could probably react to that too. But on the right side, you've got Huggy Wuggy and Pugapillar and stuff like that. And even this weird diagram behind her that looks like, I don't know, some kind of weird endoskeleton almost. Like, what is that? It looks like a very lengthy creature. Could be, something to do with Huggy Wuggy. I have no idea. But regardless, she kind of explains, what's going on and what's happening here. So, which we kind of read up on. Now, this is the guy in Braun. And this is a very creepy scene to me. Like, I don't know why, but like, look at it. Just seeing him in there. Well, they have eye movement. Look at that. See, so they're like talking to him like, hey, you hear us, Thomas, buddy? We have eye movement. We know you're alive in there. Like, that's just, look at him. Just looking around like, where am I? What's going on? Why did I just wake up inside of a toy? Just like scary that must be. That'd be horrifying. So he's looking around in shock right now. He's got like a bunch of tears in his skin and stuff like that. I don't know why they chose like the most beat up version of Braun to put him in too. But yeah, this guy is in straight up panic right now, looking around. It's a very creepy scene. I like what they did with that. Now, let's see what they explain here.
99 displayed much more disorientation than we expected.
1199.
Subsequent mental testing metrics were also cut practically in half. It's just conjecture on my part, but I don't believe he knows where he is or what's happened to him.
See? So he's subject 1199. Thomas, I think was his name. And he doesn't know what happened. They put him in this toy, and he's just like woken up in a fresh new life. Like he's probably forgotten everything about his past. At least for now. He might remember it later on, which could cause some big problems. But he's just like, where am I? What's going on? Why am I in a toy?
To make matters worse, the other experiments could tell 1199 was different.
See? So this is what's interesting. So the other experiments, they could tell that he was different. I don't know if they mean by, because I thought the other experience would be other employees at Playtime Co-Factory or children or something like that. But they're saying that they could tell he was different. So I don't know if they mean like they could tell that he was human, or they could tell that what he was doing because he was an employee there. Maybe he was doing something that they didn't like, and they figured out who he was, and they're like, oh, we know who this guy is. Fellas, look who we got in our cell right now. We know who he is. Let's teach him a lesson. And that might be what's happening here. So obviously he wakes up in this cell, whatever you want to call it, where he's locked in here with other monsters, looks around, sees this to his right. Like, that's horrifying. You got Pug-a-Pillar right there. You've got Huggy Wuggy in the back, or Kissy Missy, which I think that might be who that is, because you guys will see later on. And something on the ground right there. I don't know if who's that on the ground next to Huggy Wuggy or Kissy Missy? I think that might be that dog character that we've seen very little of, but I think that might be who that is. And even like there's littler versions of Huggy Wuggy and stuff like that, like tiny little versions of them. So that's kind of creepy too. Now, if these are each humans in these characters, like I said, this could lead to the theory that, you know, the Brawn is someone that they do not like. Whoever that was there at the factory, they do not like this person. They want him dead, and that's why they try to kill him. And these could be like, you know, just innocent people in these other, you know, characters, and he was someone evil. But regardless, they all stare at him. They're looking around, moving, looking creepy. And then, of course, he looks to his left. Now, keep in mind, in his mind, he doesn't know what's going on right now. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what's going on. So he just wakes up here and sees this. Like, he sees this when you wake up. A bunch of other tiny little Huggy Wuggies, Kissy Missy, stuff like that. And then Pug-a-Pillar on that side with activated eyes. I don't know what you want to call it, looking real creepy. And just the other toys in this room with him. And there's a lot of them. A ton of them, actually. So that's going to be really creepy if we can see this in Chapter 3. This many people. Now, what's interesting about this is, check out what happens here. So, we get attacked by something. Look at that. What is that? I cannot tell what that is. If you guys can, comment down below any guesses. It almost looks like a bunny, or maybe that might be the dog toy or the cat. The cat bee, I think its name was. That's kind of maybe what it is. It's such a weird angle, and it's so blurry that it's very hard to tell. But that is definitely something new, I think. And let me know any guesses you have in the comment section down below. But regardless, that is an interesting shot, getting attacked by that thing. All right, so then we continue onwards, and she starts talking about what happened. So it looks like this is interesting right here. So see that on the left side? See that? Who is that, huh? That's Kissy Missy. She was one of the ones attacking him. Like, look, if we go back just a little bit right here. And let's go frame by frame, pause this. So you can see yellow right there on the top of the screen. Look at that. That's Kissy Missy. And you can see her right there. She runs off as whoever this is comes inside. Now, I don't know how they're sending people into this area without, like, locking everybody up. Unless they thought that they locked everyone up and she was out and she's not supposed to be. Because you can definitely, that's got to be her, right? Like a pink leg, a pink foot, and it runs off to the left. And if that is her, why is she like knows not to attack whoever this is that's coming in here and knows to run away? Look at that. That's definitely her. That's 100% Kissy Missy, right? It's gotta be. I don't know what else is that pink and that thin and, you know, with yellow hands like that. That's her. So she was one of the people gnawing on Brawn or Thomas, you know? So obviously she runs away. You can see Brawn's dead on the ground right there. Not dead, but close to it. Got eaten alive. And that's it. But I don't know how they didn't lock everyone up.
They would have killed him had the research team not intervened, and even then, there was still significant damage to the internal structures with some of the anatomy, namely the larynx and the thyroid.
So the research team is who they sent in here. Now, I don't know if that's the same team that we saw from the other VHS tape where, if you guys remember, I think it was, I don't know if they were called the research team. You have to let me know in the comment section when Huggy Wuggy escaped and they had to find it. And same thing with Kissy Missy, whenever, you know, the train incident happened and that whole thing happened. You know, like, I'm wondering if that's who the research team is and that's who they decided to send in there. I think so. But regardless, the fact that they didn't lock the other ones up is pretty crazy to me. I feel like we're missing something with that, but still.
Having been completely devoured. It took 12 hours in surgery to stabilize 1199.
12 hours. And the real question is, why do they care so much about 1199? Like, I know, well, I guess he's one of their experiments. This is like maybe, well, I don't think this is their first time putting a human inside of, you know, one of their toys, but it's just, it's so weird to me that this guy decided to. I don't think he willingly did this, but regardless, here's little Braun like in one of these like rooms, insane asylum rooms or whatever you call them. It's kind of funny to see a tiny little toy in a room like this. It kind of is. All right, come on, you gotta be honest. It's a little funny. But he's just there on the ground. I think that's him. And you know, 641 PCSS camera 5B or 58. I don't know. It could also be PCS5. I don't know. But regardless, it's just some camera that they're monitoring him on. And I want to know what's in the other rooms with these cameras, because these rooms look like you lock up something and you do not want it to break out, whatever's in there. So they look like some serious rooms, and they look like they've been used for a long time. You can see like the mold on the walls and stuff like that, and just like it looks old and forgotten. But regardless,
they're kind of separated from the others now.
They keep him separated. So the fact that he's separated, though, like I said, he's got to be someone important. Like, he's got to be someone that they do not like. They are not a fan of this guy. That's why they keep him separated. And the rest of them are all able to stay together. And that's the end of it. So what's weird about this is, let me go and show you guys the thumbnail for this. So this is the thumbnail for the video. It's very unsettling, very creepy. It doesn't actually show up in the video, I don't think. But regardless, it's just, it was unsettling before the video came out because of just how weird it looks and how creepy with the eyes and stuff like that. But now knowing that that is somebody in there, that's Thomas in there, okay? I think that's his name, Thomas, all right? Buddy, you're in there. And he's just like, to know that that was a human and now he's in this toy and he just woke up in here and he has no idea what's happening. He can't seemingly speak. You don't know what's going through his mind. Like, they think that, you know, he has no idea what happened. He's you know, forgotten where he is, but just to know that, you know, just imagine waking up one day and you think you died, but no, you're inside of a toy. You're inside of a toy and it looks like this. It's so disturbing and just a creepy idea. Also, you can see that there's some blood on his right side, you know, of his mouth right there. So I don't know if he's been eating someone. I don't think his mouth can open, even though you'd assume it can, right? But it's kind of weird that we never seen it open. So maybe he was eating someone and maybe this will be expanded. I don't know. It also kind of looks like, you know, he's got like a handprint on his eye right there. They took a scene from FNAF and put a handprint on his eye right there. But I think that's just the lighting. But regardless, this was a very creepy video. Very creepy. I liked it a lot, though. It was relatively short, but I like these little VHS tape things that they've been releasing. They've been fun, they've been scary, and I think they're doing a really good job. Like, I think they saw what's going on with all like the hype of the VHS horror series and stuff like that, and they're like, all right, let's do our own twist on it. Let's show them how it's done. And that seems to be what they're doing here, which they're doing a great job on it. I'm still waiting on a Chapter 3 release date, man. I feel like it's been a while. Like, Chapter 2 came out, like, over a year ago, and they're still working on Chapter 3, so I don't know what they got cooking up. I know they've been busy with Project Playtime, so, you know, maybe it's... I figured it'd be two separate teams working on it, but maybe they're all, you know... They're all one team working on both, so maybe that's why it's taking a little bit longer. But regardless, I'm very excited for Chapter 3. Now, they did do a comic book on Twitter of Bunzo Bunny, and I saw the final image, and it literally looked like a teaser for FNAF 3 with Springtrap on the ground. It looked really creepy, though, so if you guys want to see me react to that, let me know. Show this video a ton of support, and we definitely will. But anyways, I'm going to end this video here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, leave a like, stuff like that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.